There's a kind of pain that doesn't shout. It sits quietly in your chest. The pain of being left by the person who promised to stay. If you've been there, you already know this isn't just about heartbreak. It's about dignity. It's about trust. And it's about a decision that can shape the rest of your life. Today, I want to talk about one hard truth most people avoid saying out loud. Never take back a wife who chose to walk away from the marriage. Not because you hate her, not because you want revenge, but because love without respect will slowly destroy you. When someone leaves a marriage, it's not an accident. It's not a momentary slip. It's a series of decisions. She thought about it. She imagined life without you. She rehearsed conversations. She weighed her options. Walking away is not an emotional reflex. It's a conclusion. Relationship researchers at places like the American Psychological Association have long noted that separation usually follows months or years of internal detachment, not a single bad week. And when someone reaches that conclusion once, the door is already open in their mind. Even if they come back, that door never fully closes again. Many men take their wife back because of fear. Fear of starting over, fear of loneliness, fear of what people will say, fear of losing access to their children, fear that this is the best they'll ever get. Pew Research has found that men over 50 report loneliness as one of their strongest emotional concerns after divorce. So this reaction is human, it's common, but fear is a terrible foundation for reconciliation. When you take someone back out of fear, you silently teach them something dangerous. You teach them that leaving has no real consequences, that your boundaries are flexible, that your pain can be negotiated, that commitment is optional. Let's be honest about something uncomfortable. If she left once, she has already proven she can leave again, even if she cries, even if she apologizes, even if she promises change. The problem is not the apology. The problem is the precedent. Relationship counselors interviewed by outlets like the New York Times often point out that unresolved exits create lasting instability. From that moment on, every argument carries a threat. Every disagreement feels unstable. Every rough season comes with the question you can't unthink. Will she leave again? That question eats away at peace, and peace is the foundation of any healthy marriage. Before we go further, let me say this quietly. If this conversation resonates with you, supporting this channel helps keep these discussions grounded and honest. A simple like, a subscription, or turning on notifications helps this reach men who need it. No pressure, just support for the community. Some people will say, but people change. Yes, sometimes they do. But real change doesn't rush back when things get uncomfortable on the outside. Harvard researchers who study long-term relationships have found that sustainable change shows up as consistency over time, not urgency. Ask yourself this honestly. Why did she come back? Because she realized she hurt you? Or because the world outside wasn't as kind as she expected? Because she truly rebuilt respect for you? Or because loneliness set in? Dating platform data discussed openly by relationship analysts often shows that midlife dating is harder than people anticipate. Because she chose the marriage or because her backup plan failed? These questions matter more than emotions in the moment. Here's another truth most men don't want to face. When a woman leaves and comes back, the power dynamic is broken. She has already tested life without you. You are now the option that was reconsidered. This shows up again and again in stories shared by men on forums, in comment sections, and in private coaching conversations. This is more common than you think. Even if she says all the right words, a subtle imbalance remains. You start proving yourself again. You start walking on eggshells. You start overgiving to prevent another exit. That is not love. That is survival mode. And living in survival mode slowly erodes your self-respect. If you're finding value so far, could you please drop a like? And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button now. Thanks. A man without self-respect may still be loved, but he will never be deeply respected. And without respect, attraction fades. Communication breaks down. Resentment grows quietly. The NIH has noted that chronic relational stress increases anxiety and sleep disruption in older men. You begin to shrink to keep the peace. You silence your needs to avoid conflict. You accept less than you deserve because you're afraid of being alone again. That's not reconciliation, that's self-abandonment. And many men don't realize it's happening until years have passed. This doesn't mean you harden your heart forever. It means you honor the version of yourself who survived being left. The man who held himself together when everything collapsed. The man who learned how strong he actually is. The man who rebuilt his life piece by piece. Men who rebuild after divorce often report increased confidence and emotional stability within a few years, according to Pew and similar surveys. Taking her back too easily tells that man his pain didn't matter, and it did. Some will accuse you of being unforgiving, but forgiveness does not require re-entry. You can forgive someone and still decide they no longer belong in your life. This distinction is echoed by many respected relationship coaches and faith leaders alike. You can wish them well and still protect your future. You can release anger without reopening the door. Forgiveness is internal, access is earned, and that boundary is healthy. There is also a deeper lesson here. When you stand firm after being left, you send a message, not just to her, to yourself. You say, I value commitment. I value loyalty. I value stability. I value myself. Men who adopt clear boundaries after divorce often report stronger future relationships, according to aggregated dating and coaching data. This is more common than you think. That message shapes how others treat you going forward, and more importantly, how you treat yourself. Still with me? Comment 1 if this already makes sense. A strong man is not the one who begs someone to stay. A strong man is the one who can let go without bitterness, who can grieve without chasing, who can walk forward without needing closure from the person who walked away. This perspective shows up repeatedly in long-form interviews with older men shared by outlets like the BBC. Strength is not holding on at all costs. Strength is knowing when holding on costs too much. If she truly changed, her growth will continue without needing immediate access to you. Real change doesn't collapse under patience. Psychologists often note that pressure reveals intention. If her return depends on urgency, pressure, or guilt, that's not growth, that's discomfort, and discomfort is temporary. You deserve a partner who chooses you without hesitation, who stays during uncertainty, who doesn't need to lose you to understand your value. Surveys on long-term relationship satisfaction consistently show that emotional safety outranks passion over time. You deserve peace, not constant vigilance, trust, not suspicion, security, not emotional roulette. And many men find this later than they expected. That's okay. Let this be the line you do not cross, not out of anger, not out of pride, but out of wisdom. Some doors are not meant to be reopened, even if what's behind them feels familiar, because familiar pain is still pain. Before we close, I'm curious, what's one thing you've learned about yourself with age? I'd genuinely like to hear. Walk forward with clarity, with self-respect, and with the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to continue these conversations, consider subscribing. I look forward to seeing you again. That is how you truly move on.